How's it going? I hope you're doing well. So I wanted to record a video, and I felt guided to record a video, and it's beautiful sunset as well. I get very inspired when I'm up here and when I see these beautiful colors that no video capture device can really match because of the energy that is in that sunset live. And that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about what is very important and dear to me, and that is to alchemize these vessels for higher frequencies. Most people are not even aware that there is a level of frequency. Most people think that having a high vibration is something that just requires focus. It's not only that. It is focus with a dedication to clean up your energetic system. And that can sometimes look messy. And basically, the main thing is that when you do that, when you alchemize the body, you are basically cleaning what is you are cleaning the vessel so that more light can come through. The way that you will experience this is in more openness, more presence. You're more present. When you speak what you want and what you need, there's more energy that will automatically flow through your system. And I highly encourage people to explore what I'm saying, because the level of energy, Nikola Tesla got it right. Building human energy is where it's at. And there is a math to it when it comes to energy building. And this is how we do it. We alchemize the systems for energy so that the energy can flow better through the system. And we need to alchemize then all of the emotions, if there is any trapped emotions. So emotions can be a bit tricky, because emotions are energetic loop, sort of. It can be. It doesn't have to be, but it can be. And let me try and explain the difference. The difference between feelings and emotions. So emotions are energy in motion, but feelings are a response from thought. And sometimes the thoughts are hidden so that you just feel the feeling, and you think that the feeling is emotion and not feelings. So be wary about that. If you're not fully landed, that can be the case, even for the fully landed, because those energies can be very convincing, because it will be something will instigate it usually. And yes, triggers works like that. However, there are energies that these energies want to be played out. They want to express themselves. They want to be seen and heard for their pain. Watch out for this loop, because that is an energetic loop if you're in one. It's okay to feel some of this, but make sure that you pay attention to when it's unhealthy, if you're just repeating something. And it is a bit tricky because these things go in cycles also, so they will come back at some point. So this is just a sensitivity that you need to have inside of yourself, so that you know that that you are aware that there's a difference between getting hooked on a feeling and a sensation because you don't know any better, because your ego doesn't know any better, and it just feels safe in those feelings, right? Pay attention to that, because that is not healthy. It is healthy to feel feelings, but sometimes it can be, you can almost be hooked into these kind of like loops. And sometimes when I experienced this, it started first as a sensation. I didn't completely know the difference between an emotion and a feeling. Experientially, like, of course, mentally, yeah, of course. What does that do? Nothing. It doesn't mean shit if we don't embody it, and we don't actually know the difference in our bodies. Then it's just an intellectual game, and then it's just who's smarter than who, and that's a game I don't want to play, because it's boring, and it doesn't gain anything for either one of them. Just make sure that you identify the difference there, and that you make sure that if you are in one, you can start to tell too, like if it just wants to keep going and you're almost getting pulled by the energy. Sometimes it's good to let that go, absolutely, and let that just roam around. But if it's something that you will know if it's unhealthy, because emotions usually go in ebb and flows. They're never usually constant. And pay attention if you are getting an image that instigates a feeling, or a thought that instigates a feeling. Because if you do, it's highly likely that you're being manipulated more than actually that it's true emotions. And that means that it's actually because pictures and thoughts can be injected from the outside. If you are having a negative experience, you can have beings giving you, well, beings, I don't want to call it beings, because it can be a little bit like, oh, what beings? But it's just the energy formations of the patterns that you have created, or that you have subjugated yourself to, right? So it's important to just know these things, and to know how to maneuver these frequencies, and make sure that you are connected to your body, because that's one thing that you can, if you're very good at being connected to your body, most likely it's harder for these things to be a thing, because you're then operating, feeling your body. Usually this is more for people that are more in their heads, that I have been there, so I know the process to embody more light in the body. And it is a wonderful experience to be able to know behavior that supports more energy through the body. And that is what I'm all about, so that we can have, just like Nikola Tesla, that we can build human energy. And the more that we can build human energy, the higher we vibrate in frequency, and the more we are in the non-dualistic perspective. Because we haven't fully landed in the dualistic perspective. And there are energy thought forms and habitual thought forms that can keep us in the dualistic perspective. So it's important that we upgrade our vocabulary and our way to communicate with one another, to be able to maintain a high vibration and keep going upwards, to be able to have a healthy, functioning relationship with people around you, for example.